Hello and welcome to Your Community, Your World. My name is Shola Ladinika. This program looks at what's happening within your community. We thank God for a new week and we thank God that we are alive, and that's because over 600,000 people have died worldwide as a direct result of COVID-19. So we are grateful to be alive. Face coverings are now made mandatory when you visit shops, and this includes your takeaways, coffee shops if you're taking it away, and not forgetting the banks as well. Failure to do this attracts a £100 fine. From 1st of August this year, the wedding industry will come alive again, and that's because you are now allowed up to a maximum of 30 guests. Food and drinks are now allowed, but it has to be a sit-down meal and not a buffet. We spoke to a few people, and this is what they had to say concerning this.
Hey everyone, it's Abiola from Caesar Hands. Okay, so from the 1st of August, we are now allowed weddings with a maximum guest of 30 people. Yes! Okay, do you know what? I think that is a positive step forward. Looking back at how COVID-19 came like a thief in the night, we have so much to be thankful for. So let us play our parts, because we are all in this together. So let's embrace the new government directives, and then let's take things one step at a time. This is my take on these all wedding things, coming from a wedding designer. So we're happy, at least it's one step at a time moving forward. Take care for now. Bye.
I think it might not be actually, it might not really make a big deal now with 30. I think we might as well wait until, say, school resumes, if it resumes, and fans return to the stands. Then of us shorty, at least 100 is guaranteed, and then we can be talking of a party. Let's just thank God that we're alive for now. At least there was no 30 before now. Now that there's 30, maybe the next announcement will bring it to 50 and then close to 100. So we might as well assume we're still on the Zoom level, have our Zoom parties, and at the fullness of time, we start parties. I think that makes sense, because the 30 would not do us any justice. If someone considers having only 30 persons in his hall or party, and still has to bring in service providers, then that's tough.
First of all, I think this is a sensitive one, because I believe it varies from country to country, culture to culture. But the most important factor, I can think there are two factors. Number one, the happiness of the bride and groom. And number two, the safety of the bride and groom and their guest. Now, what do I mean by that? First of all, the wedding is all about them, and it's their day, and it's whatever will make them happy, but at the same time safe. Because as you're aware, the freak virus is still out there. The freak genetically modified virus that keeps mutating and affecting people in different ways is still out there. So I really, personally, I don't think it's safe yet. And because the virus, I'm not guaranteed that everybody present at that wedding would have been socially distancing, and some of them could be asymptomatic without knowing, and obviously the virus affects everybody in different ways. So scientifically, I don't think we're ready. And if people are going to have weddings, I think it should be less than 30 guests. And if it's 30 guests, and you're going to rent a hall and everything else, I don't really think it's cost effective. So I think personally now, if people really, really do have to have a wedding, they should either be a simple one with maybe 10 guests, and then later on, when things have calmed down and we know what's happening out there and it's safe, then they can do the reception and everything that follows. I mean, for example, look at the royal family. Princess Beatrice got married over the weekend, and I think there were less than 10 guests. The most important thing is the happiness of the bride and groom. Once they're happy, everything is okay. And once they're safe, everything is okay. If they're allowing 30 guests, I don't think it's safe right now. I think just a simple wedding or postpone it, because I've had 2 weddings postponed this year already. So I think the best thing is postpone, or bride and groom be happy and do it their way, that they'll be safe and they'll be happy.
I understand what this pandemic has brought us and how a lot of things have changed. But what I think about having 30 guests in a wedding party, I'm going to put myself in that place whereby it's my own wedding. I don't know how that's going to ever happen, because only my family members, they are more than 30. So for me, it's a no-no. That wedding has to be postponed to God knows when. And what I think about that as well is, with the rules, I'm not here to bend the rules, or I'm not here to tell Boris Johnson what he's meant to say. But I think there are some social distancing that they could put in place to have more than 30 guests, because 30 guests in a wedding is just like it's like that's not even a wedding for me, because I'm Nigerian, and a Nigerian wedding to have 30 guests, hell no, that's not even happening, because only the friends of the bride or the friends of the groom, that's more than 30. I don't know how that's ever going to work, to be honest. Like I said earlier on, if I'm in that place, I would not want to have my wedding done now. It will be postponed. Obviously, when you know your husband to be is definitely going nowhere, you know, what's there? I'll just quietly go to a court or a registry and have my court wedding done and introduction, you know, just something small, or even pay my dowry. But the main big wedding will be postponed till when this pandemic is over, and we all hope it goes off fully soon. But yeah, that's my opinion about it. For me, I'm going to postpone my wedding. I'm not going to have it done, and I think Boris Johnson is meant to put some other rules in place whereby they could have more than 30 guests, because 30 guests in a wedding is just like, that's not a wedding. That's what I think about it.
Mixed feelings about the maximum number of guests now allowed at a wedding reception, which is currently 30. At least we are happy that food and drinks are now allowed to be served, even though it can only be a sit-down meal only. That's a step in the right direction. We're hoping that the government will continually update this guidance and hopefully increase the number of guests. But if you still want to go ahead with your wedding now, please give us a shout and we'd love to cover it. I'll take a break.
Jab and Company Limited. Jab and Company are chartered accountants and property tax consultants based in North and Northwest London. Our areas of specialties include accounts preparation, annual accounts, management accounts, taxation, corporation tax, income tax self-assessments, CIS returns, bookkeeping, value-added tax, payroll, company formation, capital gains tax, inheritance and estate planning, and experts in minimizing tax. Sectors: property investors for buying properties with fast cash, traders, hairdressers and beauty, builders and construction, hospitalities and leisure, business startup, charities and non-profit, sports, social media and entertainment. Services: we pride ourselves for prompt and efficient services for wealth creation to our clients. Fixed fees from £25 to £100 per calendar month. Training: we offer practical training for students and members of ICMA and AAT. With us, your interest always comes first. Right now we're giving special offers, 20% discount for 3 months. Hurry for business recovery from epidemics COVID-19. Jab and Co Limited, your preferred chartered accountants and property tax consultants. This is an appeal by Ben Television. It is time we support our own, especially in this diverse media world. Sadly, our community is most affected by COVID-19 more than any other group. We would like to address this with relevant information and programs. We need your help. Please donate generously so we can keep fighting our corner by producing programs and making our voices heard. Every pound counts. For more information, please visit bentelevision.com. Thank you.
Welcome back. This program looks at what's happening within your community. So please, if you have any community stories out there, please feel free to get in touch with us and we'll do our best to showcase it. The lockdown measures are being eased gradually in England, and the government is hoping that by 1st of November, things will be back to as near normal as possible. And by that, they mean that majority of people will no longer be working from home, but will return to the office. We hope so too. We decided to seek the view of a number of people to share their lockdown experience. And this is what some of them said.
The lockdown has been a great experience for me. It's been a time I call catch-up. Catch-up in the sense there was a time to catch up with prayers, was a time to catch up with a lot of studying, a lot of reading, and was also a time to catch up with a lot of studies of the Word of God, that's the Bible. I had time to read, I had time to pray, I had time to meditate, and I had time to spend with my children. It's been about 8 or 9 weeks of time well spent. And now that the lockdown is, getting eased up, I think I would have preferred it to be longer, in the sense that the traffic is not building up. In the days of the lockdown, the traffic was very light. You could move from point A to B, where whenever you went for shopping. I think it was a good time, and I'm praying that as many as our people that are alive today, that God Almighty will keep us safe. And I pray and I declare that as many of us as are seeing this program, by the grace and the mercies of God, we all shall be post-COVID-19 survivors in the name of Jesus. Amen.
My experience during lockdown, for me it hasn't changed that much, because I worked throughout the lockdown. So for me, I wasn't at home, stuck at home or anything like that. I continued working, so that sort of normalized the situation for me, even though obviously it wasn't a normal situation. So I could pretty well. I'm ex-military. I'm used to being in lockdown. So for me, I was in a fortunate situation, because I had dealt with that sort of experience before, being ex-military and having to spend a considerable amount of time in isolation. So for me, it wasn't as hard, although some things were hard, obviously, meeting friends, playing football, playing cricket. That aspect of social side of it, yes, it was affected. But in terms of the continuity of normalizing work, for me, it wasn't that hard.
And when you heard that the pubs and the non-essential shops were open, how did you feel?
The shops, I was elated, because obviously you don't have to deal with the crowds, you don't have to deal with, having to plan everything, as opposed to just going to the shops. Pubs, I'm not really interested in pubs or anything like that. So again, I think it depends on what culture what cultural background you come from. If you're somebody who goes to the pub, then perhaps it's going to be a lot more difficult. But I come from the Caribbean, so we don't really do pubs. So for me, it's right.
Lockdown has been interesting, actually, because I've had to, I call myself a frontline lad because I've got a charity, so I discovered I was going out every single day. So I was in lockdown, to be candid. So my own personal experience was I have had to reach out to a lot of people that were vulnerable, people that needed food. So I had to be going to Kent to collect food, coming to Morrison's, like I said earlier, to pick up food on behalf of people that we do the food bank every Sunday. So lockdown has actually not been lockdown. However, from the professional point of view, because I'm a financial advisor, there were quite a few people that were clients, and obviously I can't mention names, that passed on during the lockdown, and that actually he really touched me in a very special way, because I'd had to be there for the family, to console them, and you can imagine while you're locked down, you still can't see your family, so that was really, really touching for me. And another few clients that they were hospitalized, and we had to be there for the family as well. So from that angle, it was really tough not for myself, but for the families of our clients. So generally, it's been up and down. But I'm happy that we're out now and post-lockdown, at least we're alive. So yes.
Hello, I was alone during the lockdown with my cat, so it was very tough for me. I was at risk, but I stayed in touch with all my friends. They really helped a lot, both on Facebook, and also I received a lot of phone calls. Also, my daughter kept sending the message of God that was on the radio, and also on the days that I felt low, I went out, and I came here in Morrison to meet. I have a couple of friends, and that was really good for me. I also saw that on the news there was a lot about some people did domestic abuse, and even to children in isolation. So I hope there can be more understanding of the sufferers of domestic abuse, and they can be helped more. Thank you very much. And also to know that many people, they can't get a job because of mental health, or they suffer domestic abuse. They suffer even more because they don't get a chance in the world. Thank you very much.
This is an appeal by Ben Television. It is time we support our own, especially in this diverse media world. Sadly, our community is most affected by COVID-19 more than any other group. We would like to address this with relevant information and programs. We need your help. Please donate generously so we can keep fighting our corner by producing programs and making our voices heard. Every pound counts. For more information, please visit bentelevision.com. Thank you. Jab and Company Limited. Jab and Company are chartered accountants and property tax consultants based in North and Northwest London. Our areas of specialties include accounts preparation, annual accounts, management accounts, taxation, corporation tax, income tax self-assessments, CIS returns, bookkeeping, value-added tax, payroll, company formation, capital gains tax, inheritance and estate planning, and experts in minimizing tax. Sectors: property investors for buying properties with fast cash, traders, hairdressers and beauty, builders and construction, hospitalities and leisure, business startup, charities and non-profit, sports, social media and entertainment. Services: we pride ourselves for prompt and efficient services for wealth creation to our clients. Fixed fees from £25 to £100 per calendar month. Training: we offer practical training for students and members of ICMA and AAT. With us, your interest always comes first. Right now we're giving special offers, 20% discount for 3 months. Hurry for business recovery from epidemics COVID-19. Jab and Co Limited, your preferred chartered accountants and property tax consultants.
Welcome back. Please do remember that this program looks at what's happening within your community. So please do share your community stories and we'll do our best to showcase it. How was your lockdown experience? Please do share it with us. The details are on the screen. We'll continue with a few.
I really miss my friends though, because gathering, they're going to see your friends, your family, to just say hello and everything. It's not really easy for everybody. I was talking to one of my friends this morning and just say it's not really easy for her because she works with an agency and there is no job for her. We should just thank God that we are still alive, and those people that has gone, we pray to God to be good to their family, because it's not easy to lose your loved ones, you understand. I know generally it's not really easy, but I pray to God for everything to come back to normal the way it is, you understand. So we lose a lot of people, and it's really sad for that, because if you see the number of people that are dead, it's not really easy. But we thank God that we still have life, and we pray to God to make everything go normal, go the way it is before. So that's the only thing I can say for now.
And when the government opens the shops and the schools and everything, how did you feel?
We just want everything to go normal because we don't know what will happen. But the only thing is that we don't want more deaths, and I wish the government can do more things, and we too, we have to do a lot of things to protect ourselves. So that's what I can say.
It hasn't been easy at all, yeah. The lockdown for the past 4 months now. Staff, even as I've been working, but the hours are reduced, and the family taking the risk out there. You might carry the disease back home, and it's been a big challenge. Yeah.
And now that the lockdown has been eased, how do you feel now?
Yes.
Is everything back to normal now?
Yeah, not back to normal, but we are hoping in the next few weeks now everything will be back to normal. But for now, we're still skeptical because the disease is still out there, and the government is still warning, and advise everybody to respect, to follow the recommendation.
It was a nightmare, you know, what you never expected. But for me, I was working throughout, so. But for those that are staying at home, like my kids, it wasn't an easy experience. It changed everything. So yeah, it wasn't a good experience at all.
Now that it's slightly over, what's your feeling now?
I don't think it's over, to be honest. I don't think it's over. But we are hoping that it would be over, but it is not over. People are still coming down with this COVID. We still have a lot of people that are testing positive, so I wouldn't say it's over, but we'll get there.
Okay, how was homeschooling for you?
It was okay. In the beginning it was hard. It was quite hard, very challenging for the kids, because I mean they haven't seen such before. But with time they started coping and they're enjoying it. And well, the little one said to me she doesn't want to go to school anymore.
So I was traffic for you during the period.
Sorry?
Traffic. I was traffic.
It was beautiful. I tell you, the road. When ideally it takes me about 40 minutes to get to work, but 15 minutes I'm at work. So it was good. So, but the traffic is back now. No. But I'm glad that things are beginning to relax. It was a nightmare. I mean, that we don't pray for that. So we hope it gets better, and we hope people should realize that it has not stopped. People need to be more careful because COVID is still a reality.
Lockdown was awesome, really. I think it was a good decision. Although many people were thinking Prime Minister did it late, but for me, I think he did it on time, and it was really helpful. Homeschooling, really, I do not have any child I was taking to school. This is my godson. He only came a few days ago to spend time with me. So my two boys are grown up, one in uni, one in college already. So no school runs for me during lockdown. Work-wise, I run my own business, and I also work with the NHS. I work in the community as a psychiatric nurse. Because of COVID, we had to do more of work at home. So we're not really going to the office. Even now, I'm still working at home. And now that the lockdown is a bit released for us to go out, we just do once or twice in the office, and then the remaining 3 days at home. Business-wise, it's good, it's okay, because I run the supported housing for clients who are suffering from mental health and learning disability, and it was a bit challenging in the sense that most of our staffs, we have to make them sleep, with clients, rather than going and coming back because of the spread of COVID, which was really good, and we actually managed the situation very well. Post-COVID, now that we're out and about, it is good, it is fantastic, but the fear is that, or the panic there is that we're just praying it doesn't come back as in another lockdown, because many people are so excited that the lockdown is now released and we have to start doing things back, which is really good, which is really exciting. But for me, I think we should still keep safe and keep wearing our mask, keep watching our hands, because COVID is still much more around. Until we are sure of a vaccine, I think for me, it's going to be with us for some time.
The lockdown experience for some were challenging, and others, it was a case of catching up with a number of things. Please don't forget that this program looks at what's happening within your community. So if you have any community stories, please feel free to contact us, and we'll love to hear from you. The address and details are on the screen. Remember, you can always catch up on our YouTube channel, Your Community, Your World. My name is Shola Ladinika. I want to say thank you to all of you who are watching, and thanks for those who have contributed today. Remember, the virus is still out there, so I'll ask you to stay alert, wash your hands regularly, maintain social distancing, and please do not forget your face coverings. Bye for now.
There's a new virus in town, going from place to places. It's called the COVID-19. Spreading its wings around the world. It's a must for us to keep good hygiene by washing our hands, keeping ourselves, keeping our environment clean.